Well, hello, friends. Pastor Michael here again, and I'm here to finish my Great Commission Commands playlist video series. I'm going to conclude this with two eternal rights of the redeemed. Number one, right to the tree of life, and number two, right to enter the New Jerusalem. These are also on the list of the Great Commands. I want to go back and tell you where these come from. They were created by an author from Christian Assembly Church Association. I will share the link down in the descriptions of where these are created from. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is because there's 1,050 of these, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make another playlist video, and it's going to be a long playlist video. But I think it's necessary to go back and introduce you to the commands and the scriptures that they're found in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a playlist series that will talk about each one of the commands in scripture. And if there's more than one scripture in a command, I'm going to use that as maybe command number 2 or command number 3, because there's 1,050 commands, and there's multiple scriptures on each command. So I'm going to number these scriptures for you as command 1, command 2, command 3. If they're repeated, I'm just going to do the topic of what it is, and I'm going to label those scriptures as number 1, number 2, and number 3. I think that's the best way to approach it when I'm studying the scriptures. Okay, I started doing this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these on PowerPoint. I'm going to put the scriptures on PowerPoint, and we'll be reporting from the open stable of Jesus Christ, where his life started. As you know, I've got a stable painted on the mural on my wall. So I'm going to be doing those in another playlist, and there's a lot of commands here, people. And as I read through these commands, I used to think in the beginning of my life as a Christian that the commands were there to beat somebody over the head with them, and to use them as an enforcement rule, or like a solid fist. And that's not true. That's not true. Out of 1,050 scriptures, that can't be true. So I think it's protection for our heart. It's guidance for us into the world, that the world can be harsh and bitter, people. And if we don't know how to walk through the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus Christ, as I told you about in the poster, in those steps, and then put those commands in those steps. And where do those command scriptures fall into the 23 steps of following Jesus? We need to know that if we're going to be disciples of Jesus Christ. And remember, the Great Commission, I believe, is for the spiritually mature, or the parents of disciples. So we've got disciples on one spectrum, and we got disciple making makers on the other spectrum. Okay, we need to understand that from a biblical standpoint, because if we're just disciples, if we're just following Jesus Christ, we don't have the information yet, or the maturity yet, to make disciples. So there's two different things that we're talking about here. We're talking about being disciples to follow Jesus Christ. Then we're talking about being disciple making makers to help other people to follow Jesus Christ. That's our spiritual maturity. Okay, so I'm going to be coming back with another video series on the scriptures of where the commands are at. And until then, God bless you, and may his face shine upon you, and may he always bring you joy. Thank you for watching my playlist series. And if you need anything, if you need to make a comment, if you have a struggle that you're facing in your life, please make a comment below, and we'll connect. We'll connect through Facebook Messenger, and I'll be glad to help you. My next video series is going to be actually on a spiritual health assessment and the 23 steps of following Jesus. I'm actually going to guide you through the book on the 23 steps to following Jesus. I'm actually going to do a spiritual health checkup in a PowerPoint and guide you through it as if you were taking it with me. And then I'm going to break down the 23 steps in the book. It's important that you understand that. And the Great Commission commands, I believe, is a resource that helps us to be able to walk that walk. So I know this is going to be a short video, and that's okay, because God has a way, and God has the power to be able to help us to get through this. So I'm going to step off the screen and I'm going to leave the video play for just a few minutes. I want you to really think about the mountain where Jesus was at with his disciples. The thumbnail that I used for this video clip was actually a picture of Jesus talking with his disciples. So I want you to think about that. Think about where he might have been. And if you might have been there with him, what would have been going through your mind if you were sitting there along the path and the following Jesus and he was speaking to you? Make a comment below and let me know. And again, I'm Pastor Michael from heartheartrefinementministries.org. I'm out here. Have a good day.